Hello everybody, I'm Chapman Chen from Vegan Theology. Today we are in an animal sanctuary in Evesham and the weather is excellent, sunshine and daffodils. And here I'm now together with a flock of, you guess what, sheep. Yes, they are lovely animals, aren't they? And they are all very friendly, although they are almost always hungry, looking for food. So today we are going to talk about dominion. You see, these lovely creatures are creation of God, and they deserve the right to life and to freedom and liberty. Unfortunately, many meat eaters, Christians and non-Christians alike, have tried to interpret the word dominion in Genesis 1:28 as lordship, dictatorship, despotism, in order to justify the enslavement, the abuse, the torture, the rape, and the murder of innocent creatures of God. So we have to look into the original meaning of dominion in Genesis 1:28. Let's see. If we look up the dictionary, we will find that the ancient biblical Hebrew word for dominion in Genesis 1:28 in its ancient consonantal form is yirdu. Yirdu. Yirdu connotes both radah, which means to subjugate, to govern, to rule, to tread down, as well as yarad, which means to lower oneself, to descend, or even to condescend. So you see, this dominion in ancient Hebrew could connote two almost opposite meanings. And Reverend Professor Andrew Linzey contends that dominion in Genesis 1 in fact means stewardship. Stewardship instead of tyranny. Based on the fact that immediately afterwards, God prescribed a vegan diet to humans. Genesis 1:29. And Professor Andrew Linzey even goes so far as to argue that the human species has an unique potential to do what? To become the servant species. The servant species with the potential to cooperate, to co-work with God in liberating animals. So in this sense, I would add that Jesus said, I come to serve. The Son of Man came to serve, not to be served. And in fact, Professor Ritenbaugh also notes that in Genesis 2:15, God commissioned humans to tend and to keep the Garden of Eden. You know, in Hebrew, in ancient Hebrew, to tend is abat, and to keep is to shamar, which means to take care of rather than to subdue. So, according to this interpretation of Professor Ritenbaugh, dominion means caretakership, that we are caretaker of this planet, this earth, this world. You know, a caretaker has little power. Its mission, its job is to serve the tenants of the building rather than to push them around, rather than to exploit them or to kill them or to use them for food, for labor, for entertainment. No, nothing of that sort. So, in this sense, we would say that dominion in Genesis 1:28. By dominion in Genesis 1:28, God intends us, humans, to lower ourselves and serve other creatures, other animals, as servants rather than as rulers or despots or tyrants. In my view, servanthood is a better interpretation and a better translation of dominion in Genesis 1:28, because servanthood would certainly involve and imply the least power and the least authority compared with stewardship and even compared with caretakership. So I think it is more accurate and more appropriate to translate dominion in Genesis 1 as servanthood. What do you think? Well, we thank God for this nice weather, for this nice sanctuary, nice shelter for innocent creatures of God. They live happily ever after. Unfortunately, their counterparts in intensive factory farms and in slaughterhouses are still suffering intensely, unspeakably, terribly. So we have to, I suggest that we emulate the example of the vegan Christ and abide by the true meaning of dominion and liberate all the innocent creatures of this world in order to honor God. For God is love, and God loves the world, and the message, the core message of Jesus Christ is also love. You should love your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and you should also love your neighbor as thyself. And animals are of course our neighbors, both physically, geographically, and also spiritually. Because again in Genesis 1 and other places in the Bible, God gave animals, each and every animal, a soul known as nephew chayad in Hebrew. But unfortunately, it is mistranslated as what? As life, just life without a soul in the mainstream versions of the Bible. So animals are our sisters and brothers, our neighbors, our co-covenant, because God also made a covenant with all the animals of the world apart from with humans, especially after the Noah's Ark. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. See you. See you next time.